Okay, time at 6 p.m. This is the Community Development Corporation, our regular meeting on Monday, September 11, 2023. Call the meeting to order under B, invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for our board members that serve, and we thank you for their efforts and their time that they take away from their other activities to help the city. We ask you to continue to bless them in their decisions. We thank you for a special day today as we remember those that lost their lives and loved ones in 9/11. Man, time passes so fast, and we just remember them today and keep their families in our prayers. Continue to bless us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Under item C, citizens forum, did anybody show up or sign up? Thank you. That being the case, we'll move to D items, action items under 1. Consideration and action to approve the minutes of August 7th, 2023. That's on page 3 of your packet. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to consider an action of approval of the minutes for August 7, 2023.
And I'll second that motion.
There's a motion and a second. We approve the minutes of August 7th, 2023. Any questions, comments, discussion? That being the case, all in favor say aye. Aye. Ayes have it, it's unanimous. Under item 2, consideration and action to acknowledge the August 2023 financial report under A, monthly, B, year-to-date, and C, sales tax report. That's on page 9 of your packet. Mr. Milo.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, if you'll turn to page 10, it has the check report. Shows all the checks that were written in the month of August. Two big ones that you might see that both approved prior, the Veterans Memorial Engineering, and then Raleigh Outdoors for some Christmas decorations that were approved quite a few months ago, but we got those in. Total expenditures for the month, $42,107.38. Then if you move over to packet page 11, we're 11 months done of the year, fiscal year. So that's 91.7%. You see we're doing very good in interest earned. Just because of interest rates gone up, we're so far this year we have 96, 91. We'll probably hit about 12,700. So about 11,500 more than what we thought because of the interest rates. Then sales tax, of course, is the main one. Had a very good month, 74,686.43, and that puts us at 97.8% of our budget. Probably end about 30,000 over our budget. With the last couple months have been really, really good. Expenditures were in good shape all the way down. I think I mentioned last time travel. We'll move some money in there next month from another line item that we didn't use. Total expenditures for the period is $22,202.72. You might wonder why it doesn't match up with the check register. Some of those go back to the month which they were approved, so that's why it reflects that. But it's still calculated in the total. The expense total for the year, 271,609.69, which is 48.4% of our budget on the expenditures. So doing very good. Expenditures low, revenue up. The next two pages, 12 and 13, are just summaries of the same thing. Page 14 is your sales tax report, and if you can see on the bottom right corner, you see the CDC portion for August was $74,686.43, and that was 25,000 over last year, which is a 51.5% increase. So it bumps our total for the year at 10.29% above last year, which is very, very good. So
I like that mistake.
financially, really good. Not a mistake, it's just good. Don't know why,
I'm being facetious.
any particular reason, but, you know, maybe it's online sales that got caught up, or someone had reports that they didn't do it one time a year or something, so. But it's good dollars.
Does that conclude your report, Mr. Mon?
Yes, sir.
Is there any questions, comments, discussion on item number 2, the financial report? Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion for the consideration and action to acknowledge the August 2023 financial report, A, monthly, B, year-to-date report, C, sales tax report.
I second that.
There's a motion and a second. We acknowledge the August 23 financial report under A, monthly, B, year-to-date, and sales tax report. Any further questions, comments, discussion? That being the case, all in favor say aye. Aye. Ayes have it, it's unanimous. Moving on to item number 3, consideration and action to approve an interior grant for Gun Hub located at 741 West Ocean Boulevard, Suite 10, and that's page 15 of your packet.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, the committee was not able to meet tonight because 2 of them are not here. So when we've done that a couple times before, we just brought it before the whole board and let you all decide. So what this is the first interior grant that was proposed, and it was an item we weren't sure about, and so basically we just told them that, you know, that really didn't fit the criteria, but since it's the first one, we'll bring it and let y'all decide. What it is a gun store, and what they want to do is have 2 gun safes to store them and secure them. They probably won't, we were hoping it was going to be a display case as well as a safe, but it's not. As you can see, it's just a gun safe. So is it something for interior and will help them as a small business to move on down the road? Yes, it will. Does it fit exactly what interior? I don't know. So he understands the issue, but he said, hey, let's try it. So.
Okay, this is a gun store? This is a gun store that's gonna sell guns, pistols, and at the end of the day, they put everything away, put it in the safe? Is that what that's for?
That's correct.
This is the same business that was over in Brownsville by the Walmart on Ruben Torres. They had a gun range, indoor gun range. It's the same owners. What I like about this business is that it's a sales business, which sales has sales tax, and sales tax has CC has our tax in there. So, and these are big sales. They're not selling candy bars and stuff. You know, everything that the gun nowadays go for $700, $800, $900, $1,000 bucks. So, that's a hefty tax on that. And these people have been in business quite a while, so I don't know them personally, but I know that they've been there quite a while, and they seem to be reputable, so I don't have a problem with approving the grant.
Well, if I could add, to me, it clearly doesn't fit the criteria for interior repair, modernization of a facility or decorations or something like that. To me personally, I'm a federal firearms license dealer myself. I just started my own business, and that's one of the expenses that I have to make here in the very near future so I can secure the firearms that I plan on working on and defending. To me, this is clearly a cost of doing business. That's just what's required for him to be in compliance with the law in his books. And I don't see it as in compliance with the criteria for the interior design and modernization that we designed for that purpose.
I agree with Daniel on this one because we made sure that when we created this grant, it was going to be for displays type where they can show the guns. Now, if they were to display the safe like Academy does, where they're opening the safe in front to have the guns laid out in there so they can see it, and at night they close it, where it's visible to the public, then I would think that we could probably use it as a display. But clearly on the guidelines that we set up in the committee, when we set it up, it was more of those glass displays that were supposed to be set up for the business, little walls, painting, stuff like that. But unless he can say that the display it's going to be very hard for us to measure whether it's a display case or not.
Does it do anything to enhance the business? It was supposed to improve the business, decoration, adding furniture, things of that sort. It doesn't seem that it fits that criteria. And if we make an exception here, what's coming up next?
That's my concern, is if we approve this, the consistency, that someone can refer back to it and say, well, you did it this time. Why can't you do it for me now?
And then if the business goes, if the business goes out of business, what's gonna happen to the safe? Are we gonna split them in half?
Yeah, I agree.
That's a hard one to decide.
Any further questions, comments, discussion? If there's a motion, we'll move on the motion. If there's no motion, we won't move on this item. Item fails for lack of a motion, Mr. Mano and Jackie. My only suggestion is let them know that they didn't fit the criteria. It's not anything other than that. They've got to fit the criteria for it to fly. Under item number 4, consideration and action to approve funding to purchase soccer goals, page 24 of your packet, Mr. Milo.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, we have a soccer league that's got about 200 kids, and they're all age groups. So you can see the 4 sizes of goals that we need, and we're going to put these at Memorial Park. The little ones can fit in the front. Actually, the very front can put not the greatest one, the 7x21. And the others fit next to it, and the big one in the back. So we'd like to get those to be able to have those games here. They've been doing games at Laurellis. They'll still do some at Laurellis Park because we have some goals there too. But we like to do it and have them there for not only the league, but when the league leaves, kids can go play on a Saturday afternoon, Sunday, and just continue to use them after that. And then, of course, the next season, they'll be there already too.
Are they immovable? They're in the ground, or are they portable?
They're portable, but we secure them pretty good. I mean, could someone steal them? Yes. But all the time we've had them in Laurellis, and it's kind of more out there. No one's taken them there. I think it's been pretty good because we do secure them in the ground.
So
So
if
that,
someone wants to take them, it'll cost them work.
yeah. And we don't want them to move, when a kid hits it and then we want it to be secure. So that's the way they secure them there. Then we have to move them. We'll unsecure them and move them wherever they need to be.
Any further questions, comments, discussion?
So we have 4 different age groups in the soccer league?
Yes, sir.
And this is strictly Los Fresnos League, or is it open to other?
It's open, but I think he said he has almost
He has
solely
enough kids
Los Fresnos
for our
kids.
town?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah, he does have.
Anything that we can do for our kids, I think we should go and approve.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion that we consider an act on approving funding to purchase soccer goals in the amount of $12,000.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second. We approve funding to purchase soccer goals as explained by Mr. Mylum. Any further questions, comments, discussions? That being the case, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, it's unanimous. Item 5, consideration and action to approve the absence of Alberto Escobedo from the August 7th, 2023 Community Development Corporation meeting. Mr. Milo. I'll make a motion, we approve Mr. Escobedo, we excuse Mr. Escobedo from the August 7th, 2023 meeting.
So I'll second it.
Motion and second, we approve the absence of Albert Escobedo from the August 7th, 2023 Community Development Corporation meeting. Questions, comments, discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Well, it's unanimous. Item 6, consideration and action to excuse the absence of William Lubin from the August 7th, 2023 Community Development Corporation meeting. I hear a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the excuse of absence of William Lovin from the August 7th Community Development Corporation meeting.
And I'll second that motion.
There's a motion and a second. We approve the absence of William Lubin from the August 7th, 2023 Community Development Corporation meeting. Any questions, comments, discussion? That being the case, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, it's unanimous. Item number 7, consideration and action to excuse the absence of Pedro Maldonado from the August 7th, 2023 Community Development Corporation meeting. Do I hear a motion?
Yes, sir. I'll motion to excuse the absence of Mr. Pedro Maldonado from our August 7th, 2023 meeting.
I second that.
There's a motion and a second. We approve the absence of Pedro Maldonado from the August 7th, 2023 Community Development Corporation meeting. Any questions, comments, discussion? That being the case, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, it's unanimous. Going on to Section E, report by the CDC consultant under 1, consultant report August 2023, A, economic development, B, community development and training. That's on page 28 of your packet. Mr. Martinez.
Good afternoon, board members. As you can, to add to Mr. Mylum's positive notes on financials and activity, I'd like to also add that our permits office and other people coming in, as you can see, businesses and area residents looking for sites, information, technical assistance has been very flowing, if I may use the term. Secondly, on market information, demographics into increase in contacts and others, you can see we've been getting knocking on doors, people coming in asking for sites. And on that first one, site searches for lease or purchase, mostly for lease. With the terms of conditions, economic conditions out there, 77% increase in interest rate, the cost of properties now really inflated, other conditions. People are looking to lease to bring in businesses. And in that regards, this week, I will be having with a landowner, it's following that point, the Cameron County Housing Authority owns 9 acres in front of Las Palmas, and also searching another site behind Lopez Supermarket that's available land that they have for years had a subdivision out there in print and platted, preliminary platted, but to see if we can develop affordable housing. The site on the Housing Authority is 9 acres and was granted to the Cameron County Housing Authority, blah, 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 corporation, another nonprofit they created to get those 9 acres from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and HUD out of San Antonio, which I've worked for many, many years with, indirectly or directly, had stated that they want that for affordable housing, casitas, if I may use the term, starter homes. And I'm going to sit down with them and see how we can help make it also happen, because the demand for housing of the working class is vital, especially today, with, as we can see in the next point, that we met with the Rio Grande LNG, and to provide you that information they provide, which is public information, is if some person is looking for a job with how do you pronounce that, Mr. Mayor? Bechtel, they have a online process for them to get a job in construction. Or if a vendor, which we have vendors of various sorts in construction, and one supplier down the road is electrical fixtures, etc., they can apply, and I'll be sending this information to them and probably doing some kind of a news release. But we're working on it. We want to do it right. But in that regards, people are already buying homes, and at least 3 of the LNG people have bought homes here in Los Fresnos. So it also, that's the startup team. So if you imagine that others may be staying of the people, because Bechtel is going to build it. They have their own folks. They build worldwide. But they will be needing additional work. As SpaceX did, they also need an additional local workforce. We need to provide housing, affordable housing, because we don't have that affordable housing in the range less than 200,000. It's just not there. We need to work and develop it. And that's part of EDC, that we can participate and assist in affordable housing. So I'm going to give them the TA on that. The other thing we've been working on is we're having a visit for the first time in history that I know of, and probably Mr. Milam, and I don't know, Chairman, you too, that we've had the Water Board coming to District 4, which is the area of Laureles that abuts District 3 of San Benito from Green Acres, and their stormwater has to go all the way from Green Acres all the way down east and then north to almost the mouth of the Arroyo and the Laguna Madre, almost over some or more, 42 miles. And in between, even though the district's small, it is a very low income. And there are customers. There are trade area, that is Laureles and all this area. They come and shop and go to school in Los Fresnos. So we're kind of the hub of this rural growing area. So we've been helping them with the PowerPoint, and we'll be doing a tour from here to La Colonia Esquina down the road, and then on Thursday, Manuel Flores and their board are going to do a PowerPoint presentation to the water board at the city of Harlingen City of Harlingen meeting room like this, and others as well. So, you know, it's good that we are proactive, not only in our city, but our trade area, because it creates that vitality of growth. And finally, we had a Zoom meeting with U.S. Congressman on our priorities, and we'll be discussing those with you in the next meeting, but we did have a very good meeting with the Congressman and staff, Ms. Matamoros, or Mrs., I'm not sure, Mr. and Mrs. Matamoros out of Brownsville that runs its district, and we outlined some of the things that we need tweaked on the federal side in terms of eligibility of affordable housing, for example, and others, and they agreed with us. So we'll be working on those issues, particularly to try and get those $120,000 loans at 3% interest, which is half of what it is, and that's for us to be able to qualify more people in this area to get those type of loans. And finally, we're having an event this week, this Saturday, and you can see there, Los Fresnos Cowboy Cook-Off, and Mr. Cantu is reporting today to me, well, not reporting, yeah, we talked, and said that it's coming along very well in terms of entries, both in adult and youth, and the bands and all that. They were meeting tomorrow to really kick it off. There are nonprofits that are one of the greatest groups that are available in South Texas. And of course, the Conjunto Jam for this summer completed, as it says there, and it was very good because they're adding more accent to other type of lifestyles in the accordion throughout, you know, the Cajun, et cetera, et cetera. And then their events coming up next month on the October the Friday the 6th and the 7th, and we already will be putting out posters for that too. And of course, you see the Veterans Memorial, and very proud of that activity coming along, that grassroots. Any questions? We have a lot of work ahead of us this year, but I think with the positive notes of you all and your all's leadership, I do recommend, Mr. Chairman and board members, that to pass the word to folks about Bechtel and how they can, because people talk and ask out there, how can I get a job out there with the LNGs? Well, right now they're construction phase. Well, they're startup construction phase, and that's how you do it. And they will be, you know, taking from those pools as they need. So we need to have all our small businesses that are related to construction, et cetera, and all those folks that would like, even truckers, et cetera, that do trucking, because there's going to be a lot of movement of soil, et cetera, that they sign on. All right? Thank you very much. See you next month.
I have a question.
Yes.
On the Texas Water Quality Board visit, is that going to be September 13th or August 13th?
Oh, did I put September? Oh, no. September, I typo this week.
Is it?
Pasado mañana.
Wednesday and Thursday
Yes, sir.
this week.
I'm sorry, it is September. Thank you for, I'll correct that typo.
And I think the mayor's giving the welcome for the valley
Yeah.
to the board.
It's a great
It's
opportunity for us.
good that they're here and see some of the issues. We're very fortunate that we've secured a lot of funding through them for water, wastewater, and drainage projects at the grant money and also 0% interest.
The other thing was on Bechtel. They're doing their hiring fair in Brownsville. Can we invite them to do one here in Los Fresnos?
We didn't talk about that. We're going to link up and get the info going because it's down the street where they're going to be having it. I think that's correct, boss?
Yeah, right now she said that they're doing all their hiring online. And when they reach a point where they're not meeting it, well, then they'll do
Yeah, but in reference to the
hirings at different locations. But they think they can get them all online.
But as it relates to your question, closing in terms of Brownsville having a job fair, we'll be linking up with it, and we'll put it on the newspaper and send out flyer, even, posters, what we do to promote things that are positive.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Any further questions, anyone? Okay, moving on to item F, report by general manager under 1A, Veterans Memorial, and B, city brand advertising message. That's on page 30 of your packet. Mr. Mylum.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, the Veterans Memorial Project is going well. They're working on getting ready to put in the slab. It took them a long time, but they've dug really deep. They wanted it to be sure stabilization. I think it's overdone, but we won't have something that leans or cracks here in a few years. So they dug like 4 feet down, 5 feet down, and then compacted it back as they went up. And so now they're building the forms. So they're moving along really well. Can't wait to get that project going. Val and I had some discussions today about some kind of ribbon cutting and getting a representative from each branch of the military here somehow for whatever that presentation ends up being, and then have a pretty good shindig for that event. Yes, sir.
I have some contacts still when I used to run the Veterans Day program.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have some contacts, I can get some people. The only one I don't know is the Air Force, because do they have offices around here other than the recruiting station? But I know the Marine Military Academy is always willing to help.
Yeah.
Our Army that they have in Brownsville are always willing to help. The Navy, well, we got a ROTC unit, but we got a reserve unit in Harlingen that's willing to help to do a flag raising ceremony, whatever y'all might want to hold on that first day when it gets completed. And then after that, we can do a Veterans Day program. I mean, oof, man.
It opens the
We
doors
got
for
a lot of people that are veterans.
a lot of events, so it'd be good. We'll get with you on the numbers, Val. And, but yeah, we had talked about MMA and talking about our own high school, the Naval ROTC unit that's there, so, get those participating, and so more on that later, but, it's not too soon to start.
Yeah, we have time.
The city brand, we're continuing with the Community with Opportunity brand. Jackie's been tagging and with Facebook and anything with Community with Opportunity and that can go from our community health program. We just opened back the basketball. It's the first time that the school has allowed us to do open basketball in the evenings indoors. So we've got that going on. They did a healthy aging wellness program. That was Friday or last Friday? Friday, right? Yeah, it's past Friday. Boys and girls flag football, the soccer, all promoting it through the city with Community with Opportunity. These are all opportunities for kids to be doing something, adults to be doing something healthy, and as well as our cook-off for this weekend and the Conjunto Festival ideas. We did a promotion on the Katakata Trails with Community with Opportunity, and hey, you get to exercise and see nature. But the biggest ones, I think, is New Business Alert. She's doing a New Business Alert whenever they get their certificate of occupancy. If they'll participate, they'll do the certificates and the new business, and we promote it. And I think you did it just recently, Horizon.
Horizon was the Community Opportunity Month.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was the Los Gatos accessories.
Oh, what was accessories?
That was for the like phone accessories and everything like that. You're right, I had them mixed up. That was a new business, Horizon, and then the Brow and Beauty was the last two. She does one each month to focus it, and they have to say why they choose Los Fresnos and how Los Fresnos is a community with opportunity. And so just continue that theme. And they've both done it really good. And she's been getting calls, say, when can I do that one? And so I think we're doing something really good. People are looking forward to it and asking about it. And so if they're asking about it, can I do mine? They think it's of a good value.
One of the things I like when you're traveling around Texas, as you come into the different towns, and some of these towns have famous people, excuse me, famous people that were born there. Like for example, Refugio for a long time had the sign, birthplace of Nolan Ryan. And I was reading an article the other day about one NFL football player that from Hearn, Texas. And he just happened to go to A&I, back then it was A&I Kingsville. Well, this guy, A&I Kingsville, it's a small school. But this player, I guess, was so good that he got invited. He didn't get picked by any of the football teams, but he got invited to a tryout camp. But he just so happened that he went to the Minnesota Vikings. John Randall, I don't know if any of you guys know John Randall, but anyway, he became one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL, and he made it to the Hall of Fame. And he went to a small school, and he wasn't recruited by a lot of the big universities, but somebody saw him and they said, come down to A&I. I think A&I back then would take all the kids that didn't get picked by any of the major schools, and they went to play there. A&I for a long, long time was a top football school, and it was a small school. And I remember because they used to whoop up on Texas State, and Texas State was a Division IIA. A&I was smaller than a Lone Star Conference school, small school. They used to whoop up on Texas State every year, and I hated that. But anyway, one of the things I like about the sign is that, like Los Fresnos, home of. If we have anybody famous here, they put up the sign, put up the name. Maybe one of us. Maybe one of us. And another thing is to recruit or maybe to promote the town is that I went to Los Fresnos to go to school or to work. And in the meantime, I went to Julia's to go eat, something to promote coming to the city for a good reason. Came to pay my speeding ticket.
I had lunch with, I had lunch not today at Taqueria in Brownsville, and an assistant district attorney came in, and I saw him and said hello, and we started chatting, and he told me he's now with the federal assistant, he's an ADA, which means he's with the U.S. Attorney's Office. He's in federal, does federal stuff. And he told me, I didn't know that, he's a very good prosecutor with Cameron County. And he says, yeah, I'm from Los Fresnos. And I thought, oh, wow, somebody from Los Fresnos is an assistant district, an assistant U.S. attorney in Brownsville. So there's a lot of people that have done well from this town, a lot of people. And we may not have Aaron Rodgers or anybody like that, but we have a lot of good people.
I kind of already thought of something like that because part of the community with opportunity is like growth, business, education, and like I still follow a lot of people from when I graduated from high school, and one of them, she's a big news anchor from Houston. The other one's in California. She's in the military. She's something way up there. I don't know what she is. And I was gonna reach out to them and be like, hey, we're doing a pretty good opportunity. I know you went to Los Fresnos. I know you know Reyes. You're from here. Look where you are now. Like, can you somehow tell me about your successful career and how Los Fresnos played a part in that? And then focus them like, hey, well, not just from my class, but just look, like it just happens to be that they're from my class because I follow them on But I'm sure if you guys know anybody that's like, hey, my daughter went to school with this person and now she's in wherever, like successful or whatever, and she wants to be part of community opportunity, we can feature them like, this person went to school in Los Fresnos, is from Los Fresnos, she went out of here, look what they're doing now, you know what I mean? Because a lot of like, the two people that we featured for the Brown by Beauty, the Horizons, they were also high school students. They graduated from Los Fresnos, they came back, they built their business here, and now they're creating job opportunities for the residents. So it's all like cycling back and giving back. So I kind of like, we don't have anybody famous, but we have successful people because, you know, of our school district and
Councilman Herrera,
I'm sorry?
Councilman Herrera, his daughter is a medical doctor, and his granddaughter is in medical school. And they went through Los Fresnos, through our education system. I'm going to add a little something to that I've said before. I have a relative that was in enrollment at Texas Southmost College, and she would tell me, kids from all over the valley come and enroll at TSC, and not talking bad about the other schools, but the kids from Los Fresnos, very rarely did they have to take, what do you call those classes that you have to take? Yes, remedial, that very few people from Los Fresnos, they're almost automatic, no remedial classes. And that says a lot for us. So we may not have Aaron Rodgers or Roger Staubach, but we've got a lot of good people in town and that are going places.
Well, if I could add to that, I don't know if you remember, I can't remember his name right off, that young gentleman that used to be on this very, an intern for this very board, probably about 2014, 2015. He was here when my daughter was here as an intern as well. This young man went out to be an aerospace engineer and is working for, I believe, Lockheed Martin or Boeing up in the Colorado, up in the Denver area. So I could get a hold of him as well as have him potentially one.
The good thing about community opportunity is to kind of show that Los Fresnos has all sorts of opportunities, like we grow business, education, family, and people like that have gone so far and, you know, can come and tell us their story. So it can happen. They're not famous, but
We'll give you more ideas as time goes by. Does that conclude?
I want to
Your
make
report, Mr.
one more
Yes.
comment. One more comment. I just want to congratulate Jackie, Mark. I know when we started talking about promoting the city back then, it was something that was done, but not to the extent that we've been doing it now. And I can tell you, I've been seeing the progress that we've been doing on Facebook and stuff like that. I think that part of helping them out, and I myself try to do it every once in a while, but I don't, is trying to help Jackie push whoever has a Facebook account, push whatever she posts, because like she said, we're getting more people interested in the city, more people, business people looking into our Facebook page now, when back in the day, I mean, it was just a Facebook page that was posting a couple of things, but I think you're doing a great job. I see your passion now with it, and you're taking it to heart, so I really want to congratulate you, because you're probably the one that's handling most of it. We just kind of gave the idea at the beginning, but you just took over it and are doing great with it. So I want to congratulate you guys on that, and hopefully we can help them as a board kind of push on our Facebook accounts if we have. I know I told you I've done it a couple of times, but I haven't done it as consistently. Now I'm going to try to help you out as much as I can, but anybody that has it or family members, let's see if we can push them to continue to promote that.
I also want to appreciate what y'all guys have done on the Facebook. I see other things in Facebook from other cities, and they're not positive. It's mostly negative. So thank you very much.
Silent clapping.
Okay, that concludes your report, Mr. Mullin. Thank you very much. Moving on to item G, it is 6:45, meeting adjourned.